Good morning, traders. This is at zeros. Can you guys hear me? Let's do a sound test. All right. All right. So, yeah, just write down a message if you can guys hear me so we can start. Awesome. Good morning, everybody. Let's do a sound test and the visual test. Can you guys hear me? Hi, Louis. All right. So, I assume that you guys can hear me. All right, let's start with this. So, as we expected, the SPY and the Nasdaq yesterday moved up. SPY was a bit red yesterday. If you look at the daily, uh, we see here still turning up. And right now, if we go back and look at the yields, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years yield are still coming down. So most likely, I don't see the reason for the SPY to, sell off, but it's extended for sure, but no further reason to sell off given the market conditions. So let's start with that. Nasdaq looks similar. In fact, Nasdaq closed stronger than the SPY, and we'll see then. All right, so now in terms of the gapping up stocks, you might have figured out now that there are not many gappers today, uh, which just fit into my criteria, but we'll go one by one and look at it. So one is the JKS. JK is the most suitable candidate. Very strong. We have traded a couple of times here. And yesterday we didn't trade, but was very strong. And now today again is gapping up and very strong. If you look at the 5 minute chart, you won't see much volume. That's the typical JKS is that pre-market no big volume. Uh, we can find a support on 56.38, beautiful support, couple of time bounce back, and we see right now the resistance over 57, and then we see the 57.50 and the channel 57.80. Right, it's a beautiful, uh, you know, flags here. Beautiful support here, and we'll see what it does. Does it loses support? And once it loses support, next support we see around 54 or the pre-market low, which is a 55 around. So we'll see. But looks right now is consolidating under the VWAP over the support and the low volume 4% up. That looks like a candidate for us to gap and go. We'll see what it does in the next half an hour before the market opens. And the next I have is the Tiger. Tiger was gapping down yesterday. I tried yesterday. Two tried I did, and both of the time I stopped out, but then ultimately it went really good. So my first entry was on the break of this 2282, and it didn't do the next 2 minutes, and it's make the doji here, and I say okay, it might gonna move up. So and I stopped out here on the 2305 because bid was showing me 2310, so I was thinking it might gonna jump, and then suddenly dropped almost more than 60-70 cents, almost 4 hour for me, but unfortunately I couldn't take it. The next trade I had, that is also very interesting. So next trade I had um around I think around 12 o'clock. Y- Yeah, I think somewhere around I did that. So my first entry was here around 22.18 with the 20-cent stop loss. It moved down. I added into my position, and then I didn't take a partial and move back up. The moment it moved back up, my break even was 23.13, and the same thing happened. The bid was showing above 20, ask was showing above 23.18 or 19, something like that, and I say it might be, had a support and gonna move back up, and I stopped out on this candle somewhere around here, and look at it what happened again. So I was just a bit unlucky on this yesterday on the tiger trade. Um, so today, now let's talk about the today. Today is gapping up. Now we need to understand that whether it's a dead cat bounce after the gapping down, or is a very strong candidate. Because if you look at the tiger, it moved on really too much, almost $10 in the last 4 days. So now if you look at the 5-minute chart just to see, so yesterday low was 21.13. Okay, and yesterday mid-range around 21.90 was a mid-range. So today market gapped up, open around 21.90, and first few 5 minutes move all the way to 23, and now it's coming down. So now we need to look for both side, because I'm to be honest, I'm not sure what it's going to do, because yesterday it was gapping down, today is gapping up, and usually these gaps usually fade away, and so this is going to be a support resistance. If you look at it now, after 6 o'clock, it's just downtrending. It's holding this support around 22.62, but under the VWAP, I see what I see here. It seems to me that this is going to break this 22.60 support, and if it's going to break now, then it's going to be harder for us to trade. But if it stay over the support, uh, pre-market, then if in after the pre-market it breaks, then we know that could be an important channel. So, and the 2262 is also, you need to be aware that yesterday high, when it moved up, is around 2330, and the 2650 around is also in support. So maybe let's give a little bit more room, and instead of 2260, let's mark 2250. So this is going to be a support area. So we need to see how does it break with the volume, without the volume, and what it does. So it could be on the both side. Let me bring the watch list and we can just move it. Today, if you look at it this is all yesterday ones. So it's all typically, yesterday everything was red, today everything is green. Except the XPAV, even it was red yesterday, but it's moving so much. So let's delete this and then I will add today's watch list. Let me just keep the Mara and Riot. We might see something. So we already did the Tiger, we did uh, what the other one we did it, JKS. Okay, so these two is going to be our okay, so uh, Tiger. Okay, and we'll add maybe the Mara and Riot later on it. Hi Andre, hi Avenger. Uh, all right, guys, feel free to introduce yourself, and if you have any question, you can ask, and we can go and one by one and look at it. And next one I have is a CLOV, but CLOV, you know. It just losing the momentum. It's just maybe like a wish yesterday, if you recall wish, it was gapped up, and then it's just fade away. And Club is coming down very, very much on the $10. $10 is always a support here. People usually buy on the support, so we can keep an eye on this. But I'm not really optimistic about these stocks, because these stocks are just a traps. Only once in the 10 time is going to give you momentum. The rest of the time is always going to do opposite what, you know of the trend. Hi Freds. So I will just not, uh, trade them. We'll just keep it. But for you guys, if you like to trade these kind of stocks, I can make it. 1070 is a support here. So 1070 is a support resistance here, and the 1050 we can mark as support. The high resistance of 1090, and the lower channel we have on around 1030. So if you play in between those channels, you can trade in this way. Never go long on 1070 because the resistance area, right? Unless you see there is a couple of time tested and there is a nice momentum there. Otherwise, no need to trade. And then similarly, the shorting on the support, don't do that. These stocks, so people usually buy on that side. So these are the ones which are on the gapping list. Just quickly, let me check the gap down. If not, gap down is only AMC, so there's no point of checking that. Okay, let's see ALEC. Fraz is saying. So let's see ALEC. Let's look at the daily. So daily, okay, it was very strong last 2 days, is moving up now for short side from 40 or above. So see, this is yeah, see, I wouldn't advise you to do a shorting on this. Let's see what is the short float in it yeah, uh, before we see what it is look like. So ALEC is a small is a micro cap. ALEC is a micro cap, 69 million share float, um, and the short float is around 10% of it. So almost 9 million shares have been short flowed. And so, okay, so see here. Now let's look at the plan. So I wouldn't just say this is the whole number, so we should short it. We need to see what it does over the 40. It's already tested once on the 40. F- Find a nice support around 39.50, right? If you see here, a beautiful support. It was a prior resistance. It is, and then now it is trying to move up. So, I don't see the reason for shorting under 40, because then you do not have much room. You have only have room before the support comes in at point 0.5, right? Unless you expect that it's gonna break this support of 38.75 as well, and then you can get a momentum. But uh, I think it's too early, because if you look at it right now with a strong momentum, but definitely you can keep an eye. I think it could be a nice shot if you find the reason that it is getting weak, low volume, and moving down on this support, and then you suddenly start looking at the red volume, volume bar is getting increasing and the selling pressure comes in, then you can short it. But outrightly, I don't know. Let's see the DQ. So daily. So DQ was gapping down here on the 52, and now it just keep coming, moving up 68 now. And today again is 2.3% gapped up. Prior few days on June 28th, this touched the 68. The 68 could be an important support here. We can mark this. I think this we traded this before. Uh, since here we know it is very bullish because squeeze dust. If you recall that day when it's capping down and we're shorting it, and um, and then the next day we were looking at it to go long, but we didn't go long. But since after it's just very very good. So we can put it as a secondary right now because it's low volume, but we know when this move it moves, but when it's a low volume it doesn't really move, so we need to be cognizant of it. Okay, so some of the stocks I was looking at it uh, yesterday night, I wanted to share with you. Okay, so DKNG. So DKNG, if you look at it, it's really holding this 50 level, Yesterday was a green day, and I think it could be an interesting long over 5150, 5160 could be an interesting long here. Uh, is from the daily perspective, it's ran up, find the support, and now it's gonna move up. So 5160 uh, could be an interesting long. So I'm gonna watch this today, DKNG, and it looks good to me. Next one is the SPWR. So SPWR, if you look at it, I have traded couple of times. 29 was very strong level. Yesterday when I've traded over 29 and then partial it around 29.30 to 10.40. I was hoping the day it's ended that it's gonna gap up because it was really strong yesterday. And now it is, if you look at it, is over $30. So it looks really strong to me. Let's see what it does. Uh, don't wait. I think we don't need to wait for the pullback, but go look at it at how, because it's not a real gapper, right? So it might give you a little bit of entry. Definitely the support we have right now on the pre-market with the low volume is $30. So if it's come back to 30, which is right now the bid on 3010. I think it's good to go along with the 10-15 cent risk. Maybe you won't be successful in the one attempt because maybe you will see, the first few minutes is really jumping and you stop you out. Uh, but then don't, I think you can still find another entry after that, uh, because the only risk is if you miss the first entry, might be it just run up so quickly that you need to wait then whole half an hour for the pullback, because this looks really strong. Even if you look at the 60-minute chart, uh, it's really strong. If you look at it here, it came down, find the beautiful support here. Now it is around all the previous supports here, and the next target is, it seems like a 3140, which was the high of this, and then the next target is around 35. So it has a potential like the JKS. So let's keep this into our radar. Uh, Next one is, you can look at it, PLTR. So PLTR on the daily, very interesting bear flag formation around the 2450, but it lost that, as right now is 2.3 gapping down. The next support I see around the 2350. So let's see what it does. And if we find some kind of an entry here, below the $24, we should go and jump for the short here. So look at it. If you look at it here on the 15-minute chart, you will see 2440 with a support for quite a 3 days. And yesterday, before 4 o'clock, it broke, and then after hours, it holded that $24, but it stayed there. So the two action plan could need to be, today it's again gapping down. If it loses support on $24, we should short it, right? And if it's rejected this gap and this bear flag and move over 2460, it might be a trap and wanna be go run upside. So you can look at both side, both dimension, risk and support and resistance. But it seems to me is wanna come down. But if you look at the last 5 days, it had came down, consolidated for the day, one day rested, and now again coming down. So we might see a one more continuation red bar here. So let's put PLTR as well. Let's look at the workhorse. Man, these are the so stupid stocks, I'm telling you, and they don't do what they show to you. So they're beautiful support around 1350, and that's exactly what happened here. If you look at it, people hold it, bought it here, and today again gapping up 1.4%. So I don't know, man. I don't want to. These are the useless stocks. They give you only 1 in 10 time momentum, and 9 times you're gonna lose money. Guys, any other question, any other stock you want me to look at it? I have not noticed it, you have noticed it, and you highlight it. We can look at it. We don't have that many gappers today. I usually did not trade that, but I was just looking some of the stocks which are downside extended. Um, this is another bear flag formation around the 35.90. Uh, right now it's gapping up. We can keep similar pattern what we have seen in for the PLDR. Only difference is PLDR on the pre-market is already came down, but it's moving up. But the only thing which I fearful here is that you see a support around 34 here very clearly, two times bounce back. So we need momentum like this to break this, right? And this is a very, I think it's maybe a micro cap or nano cap, I guess. PUBM. Let me quickly check. Yeah, it is a nano cap. So it usually, any big order, it can change the outlook of this stock. Uh, so be careful on it, but it looks a very nice formation here as well. Other one I was looking at the run. So if you look at the run daily, you will find that it came down and slowly again moving back up, holding these levels, uptrending. Look at the 54, then 55. So it's just moving up. Right now is no volume, but we can keep into our secondary list because if it's move above this resistance, which is 57.93, we might see some kind of a momentum. So I will just put this run into my list in case, couldn't find anything else, so we can just trade the run. IPOS, let me check. I didn't trade S. Oh, yesterday was a beautiful day. How we can miss this, man? 46 to 50. Wow. And today over 50. So 20 cent spread. Um Yesterday, if you look at it, beautiful candles. After it just chop around, but in the morning it was nice candle formations. And right now it is over the high of the pre after hours. So let's mark this level 51.82 and 51, and let's see what it does. Okay, I will just put it here. Sorry, it's looked like little extended, um, but it's IPO, so we can trade it. All right, so DTST, what is DTST going to moon? Okay, let's just check last one and then we can wind up. DTST, oh wow, man. Look at this beautiful bull flag, man. Beautiful. Okay, so let's quickly check what is the catalyst, or is just there's no kind of a news and it's just moving up. So DTST again is a nano company, only 2 million shares. Can you imagine? Is only a 2 million shares, and in these companies is already 8 million shares have been traded. It means that the four times the shareholders have been changed of this company. Is a nano company. I mean, nano, maybe I don't know what is a new word for nano, extremely nano. I mean, only 2 million shares. So, careful. I think, but it's very bullish momentum. So we can put it here. We might trade it, and if you find some good entries, but be careful, it can spike up and down very easily because of the because of this nano company. All right, guys, so Today's Wednesday. We Do you guys want to do a live session? I'm not feeling well today. I don't want to do that. Maybe if we can do to tomorrow a live session, would that be okay with you guys? And and also on this Saturday, we have an interview lineup. So please do, put into your reminders, put in your calendar. Don't forget, this is uh, about the very. I know this guy is Michael, is a retired uh, from the military, and he's been trading. He wrote a book on mastering trading psychology. Very nice book. I also read it. There's so many things we can learn from that interview. Uh, and he can offer some very insight for us that what is written, how it is, what is his training in the in the uh, uh, in the military, how he has coped those is how he disciplined himself, and all these things also helped him being a trader. So he's also trading, so it could be a very interesting way to learn from him. So please join me on Saturday on the educational interview on with him. And also, if you guys want to join a mentorship program with me, I have a promotion going on. You can also join me with me, trade with me live, or review. I can review your trades and give you feedback for your improvement and helping you build the trade book. So we can do that too. And tomorrow we can do a live session on live trading with me. Okay, all right. So today, okay, we take a leave. We have some stocks, JKS, Tiger, DKNG, PLTR, Run, as DTST. Not really an impressive watch list, but we can see that JKS alongside Tiger on the both side, DKNG on the long side, PLTR uh, uh, downside, run long, S long, DTST long. So we have a good long and short components. So we'll trade it like that. All right. For this note, we'll end it, and we'll see you tomorrow.